Nearly every major manufacturer has decided to switch from CCS charging in the United States to Tesla's NACS port, which is the North American charging standard. Tesla called it the North American charging standard. Most people laughed at them, thought that was ridiculous, but within the space of about a year, nearly every automaker signed up with Tesla to join its supercharger network, but also to use its charging standard. One of the very few number of manufacturers who had yet made a deal with Tesla to use NACS charging has now finally caved. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Mazda has embraced Tesla's charging standard for its upcoming electric vehicles. And it's going to happen relatively soon. And we've got companies like Hyundai and Kia. They'll be installing NACS chargers on their EVs in apparently the third quarter of this year. But Mazda say that they'll start doing it in 2025. To be fair here, Mazda doesn't make many electric cars. So, realistically, the truth is they only have so far one model planned for NACS charging. Mazda no longer actually offer an EV at all at this point in time because the MX-30, well, it's dead. It stopped selling. Mazda was still selling them, but they weren't selling. Customers weren't buying them. They're too expensive. The range was minuscule, just over 100 miles of range. And so that vehicle collapsed. And Mazda decided that they would then focus on internal combustion engines. They said they wanted to perfect, that's the exact word they used, perfect internal combustion engine technology. But they will be making one model of electric car next year. While the automaker hasn't yet talked specifics, they confirmed electric vehicles launched in North America from 2025 with a Mazda badge will have the Tesla designed charging port. Mazda said the move will give customers a broader range of charging options, as well as greater charging convenience through access to more than 15,000 Tesla superchargers across North America. Now, the truth is here, Mazda had no choice because basically all new chargers now are being built with NACS charging points. Tesla's network isn't the only one. New networks are now popping up, and there's, I believe, thousands of chargers being installed per day in North America right now. But most of them now are more specifically manufactured for NACS chargers because that's considered the future of the EV industry in North America. Mazda hasn't said much about their upcoming EVs. Reports have suggested they'll be made in Japan and exported to the United States. But then they won't qualify for EV incentives, so they won't probably sell very well if they have to do that because Mazda doesn't make them cheaply in Japan. They're relatively expensive to make in Japan, then shipping them all the way to the US, then not qualifying for EV incentives or battery incentives. That would make it hard for Mazda to compete. Mazda may, in fact, rebadge Toyota EVs in the future they've suggested in North America. These Toyota EVs would be made in the US and then, Mazda would put their badges on them and sell them as Mazda vehicles. But at this point in time, Toyota doesn't make EVs in America yet either. So we'll see how that goes. Reports out of Japan have recently suggested that Mazda's upcoming EVs will be based on existing platforms that, while those platforms are used right now to manufacture internal combustion engine vehicles, gas-powered, petrol-powered vehicles, Mazda is saying that they'll just use that. That'll do the job. It's also believed the company is focusing on electric crossovers as they have the broadest appeal. So Mazda only plans on making essentially an electric crossover at this point in time. Mazda was one of the few remaining holdouts from NACS chargers, although they haven't attracted much attention as a future brand because a lot of people think that Mazda probably won't exist by the end of the decade, as they have no real serious plans for electric vehicle development. What are your thoughts? Do you think Mazda will still be around? Do you think the company will stay relevant? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.